that his father, this is where it gets cuckoo for me. Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm back. It's been a little while. It's been a minute, as the kids would say. I took a little social media break. Sometimes you have to do that to just refreshen your brain, and I'm glad I did. So, and before I go on any further, I am going to take my pill, because it is actually pill time. It's actually a little bit past pill time, but this is my pill that I take every day. In case you don't know me, my name's Jennifer. I'm HIV positive, and I was diagnosed back in 2016. I found out later that I contracted the virus in 2013. If you want to know more about my story, just go onto my channel. It's funny, people will ask me questions from some of my bigger videos and say, you know, the last questions about like, what happened after this? Are you where are you in 2019? It's like, is it? I don't think it's that hard to click on the link to my channel to see that I'm very present, very alive, and continuing on this journey through my YouTube channel. There's like almost, I don't know, I think there's 200 videos at this point. But it's funny because people will question like where I'm at in 2019. I'm like, just click my channel. It's all there. So yeah. So this is the pill that I take. This is called Triumec. It's 3 drugs in 1. It stops the replication of the virus. It keeps me undetectable, which is an awesome thing, because that means that my health is in great condition because the virus isn't affecting my body. I can't transmit it, and neither can anybody else when they are taking their medication. And undetectable, it's called U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmittable. If you want more information, look at www.preventionaccess.org, and you can find out all that you want about U equals U. They have a fact page on there that I highly recommend, and it will answer all those little doubts that you have, or what about a blip, and all that stuff. It's all there. So anyways, this is my pill. I take it every day, every 24 hours, and it just keeps like drug pressure on the virus, and it keeps it dormant. It's not even in my blood anymore. So the little teeny particles that are hidden are like not even flowing through my bloodstream anymore. I've been told they're like in my lymph cells. That's what my doctor said. So I guess my lymph glands, I don't know, but they're not in my blood. So whatever. So yeah, that can kind of, if you can like wrap your brain around that and understand like this virus is barely in me, what's left of it. They just can't get these last few little particles. That's why it's still there, but this keeps it like the pressure down, and you know, it's kind of awesome. So anyways, bottoms up. Okay, that's done until 24 hours goes by. Done. That's all I have to do. Okay, so I wanted to read, I don't know, we'll see. I have 3 stories here. I don't want to go on and on and on. I might save one for another video, but it's not even 2 pages. So let's get into it. Letter number 1. Hey, good morning, ma'am. Ma'am. Okay, that's all right. Can you please give me some advice? Please. Lots of E's on the please. I am female. I had my last unprotected sex on August 18, 2018. And in December 2018, so 4 months later, I started feeling burning sensations on my tongue and had blisters on it. I got worried and Googled, and I found HIV-related symptoms, of course, because that happens for every freaking symptom out there. It points everybody to HIV, which I then believe I had HIV due to the exposure. I stopped everything and started to believe that I'm HIV positive and stopped doing anything normal. Every symptom, she says everything symptom, I have checked, every symptom I've checked, I actually experienced them. So she said she has dry mouth, white tongue, loss of appetite, burning vagina, acne like on shoulders, so pimples on her shoulders, headache, and I mean, all of these things could just be nothing, obviously. So, I mean, if your vagina's burning, you might want to go figure out why, but it's, you know, probably a yeast infection. So anyways, I then tested January 24th. My birthday's August 24th. I just saw that 24 and went straight for August. January 24th, 2019. So that's from August. So September, October, November, December, January. So 5 months later. Remember, your test is conclusive at 3 months. 3 months, it's conclusive. So, and she tested negative. So she said she felt relief, but that was only 5 months when I checked. And then the internet, I saw that there was a bigger window period. So her stress levels totally rise again. I don't know why they say that 6 month. I mean, I guess I kind of do, because I know that it's pretty much conclusive at like a month, but I think that people aren't always totally sure when they were exposed. So to be safe, they go and say typically 3 months. But you know, I think they just want people really to be super safe. So they say 6, but come on, that's like above and beyond. That's way longer. It doesn't need to be that. It's like, if you know the date that you were exposed, 6 months is, that's not necessary. Okay, so she said, I got a cold and burning vagina again. Oh, she got a cold. Okay, and then had a burning vagina again. Not a cold vagina. I couldn't sleep all day or night. And then she kept Googling, of course, because that's what we all do, right? And then she went back to the testing clinic, and they tested with a rapid antibody, which was negative. And I explained to the counselor, and he says, testing. Not sure what she means by that. I guess he means that she should test again. Oh, no. He says, he says testing after 3 months is conclusive. Thank you, counselor. That night, I guess she said, I experienced some sweating, which made me freak out. So, I mean, there's so many things that cause sweating, a hot room, you know, being freaked out, stress. So hormones, you know, I have like, well, and medication too. There's different things that can make you sweat at night. But yeah, definitely I've had that happen, well beyond, my AIDS diagnosis, where I was totally better and I had night sweats, and it's hormonal. For me, it was hormonal. It's a female thing. So, anyways, in the night I experienced some sweating, which made me freak out. So I went back and he tested me back, and I was negative again, but I cannot stop worrying, she says. Then 1 month after that, at 7 months, I tested back and it's negative. So 7 months, like, this is not even necessary, but I'm having weight loss, total stress. That's a huge factor right there. And that actually relates to all these symptoms more than likely. Burning vagina again, that I would, you know, diflucan, you know, it's probably a yeast infection. My nails look brownish with lines. I don't know what to say about that. My teeth suddenly got a hole in it. I mean, we all have teeth issues, and that's not, no one goes, oh my God, I have a cavity, it's HIV, you know. I'm so scared. He says I do not require any more testing, but I know I'm positive. I just want to kill myself. Okay, so understand, if you're one of these people that goes through this, you're not alone. Even with all the negative testing, people still think somehow the test isn't catching it, and it's gonna show up. And I mean, these tests are accurate. This is super accurate, you know, technology. It's not that hard to like pick up the antibody. It really isn't. It's pretty, it's like pregnancy test. It's a pretty simple process. So I have to go in a few weeks for U.S. medical examination. I'm not sure where this person is, and I know they will have to do HIV testing, and I know they are going to say that I have HIV. That's the only thing I think about. I know after I know, I'm just gonna end my life. I do not know what to do. Everything, lots of Y's, lots of G's, is just over. I'm so tired of stressing. Okay. I actually didn't respond to that because this person has already tested so many times, and I've, you know, they're negative. There's not much I can do at this point except to reiterate, but they're already in a place where they're not believing the testing. So there was not really anything I could say because the testing is conclusive and they're already in contact with the clinic. So they've got, you know, support. But this is it, you know, I know for those of you that worry about HIV, that if you're on the other side of the fence, that this might seem all normal and everything, that's kind of like hysteria and anxiety about it. But when you're me and you see this stuff, you're like, are you serious? Like it's craziness to me. Like, it's crazy. And I think it's just because there's some symptoms that sort of look like they could be things that look like HIV, but these symptoms are all just really general. So, oh my goodness. Okay. So that's letter number 1. This is letter number 2. And this one kind of blew me away too. And you'll see why. So, Jennifer, I came across your videos the other day and I have been addicted. Well, thank you. So happy you are well and living your best life. I am living my best life, let me tell you. I love your videos. getting married on Wednesday. I love your videos on HIV anxiety. I too struggle from this. I wasn't going to message you, and I don't know if you'll respond, but here it goes. I did. Any of my exposures would have been between 2007 and 2014. Okay, so we're in 2019. So we're talking about 12 to 5 years ago. Okay. Those were the exposure times. Okay. So right there, I just read that and I was like, and then honestly, I just don't even read the rest of it. I just look for the word negative. I'm like, okay, well, they already got tested. There's the answer. But anyways, here's the rest of it. My ex from January 2013 to June 2014 and I were very promiscuous and didn't use condoms. I love it that that's what that means. Didn't use condoms, which makes you very promiscuous. I don't correlate the two at all. You just had sex with somebody you loved, and engaged in both vaginal and anal sex. And that too, like there's so much negativity and stigma based on like everyone and whatever kind of sex they want to have. Who cares? Like, this is the only life you get. If you like want to have anal sex, have anal sex. Who cares? I'm not proud. Well, why? Why do you have to be ashamed of it? That's not really this letter's really about, but I feel so bad that so many people are so ashamed of things that they do sexually. They really do. I can't tell you how many times people say, I know I'm a really bad person. I never am going to do it again. I shouldn't have had like oral sex. I'm like, what? That happens a lot. People say that a lot. I'm not proud of it, but I also worry about it if he had something. I then met my now husband a month later after my ex and I broke up, and instead of checking myself and getting tested, I waited a year into our relationship to do an at-home test. In summer of 2015, my husband did a blood test and I did an quick oral swab, both negative. I felt so relieved, but now 4 years later, we are pregnant and I'm waiting on my labs, so the doubt is creeping in. And I don't understand why there's any doubt. You both tested negative, like, and more than likely, neither of you are high risk. So I'm like not even certain why there's worry here. I took another quick oral swab on Wednesday last week and it was negative. So there's another negative test. Do you think if I had gotten something between 2007 and 2014, it would have showed up on my oral swab or quick by now? ? Yeah. Been 12 years since 2007. I know. And technically 5 years since that ex who I had unprotected anal sex with. And it's so cute. She puts AN and then puts the little star and then an L. Like, she's so ashamed of it, she won't even write out the full word anal. It's okay. It's okay. Don't be ashamed of having anal sex. My God. I appreciate you. And if you care to respond, but if not, it's okay. I know you said you get a million messages. And then she put the emoji with the girl going like this. That is true. Hey there, if you're, this is me. I wrote to her. Hey there, if you're negative at 12 weeks from the exposure, that's 100% conclusive and you don't have HIV. You are well beyond the conclusive point. You don't have it. And then she just wrote back, oh, thank you so much for writing back. Thankfully, I got my results and they were negative. Well, I mean, I'm not surprised. I appreciate everything you put out there and for being so awesome and honest. Sorry, I was being crazy and had to message you. God bless you and your husband to be and your beautiful family. Lots of luck and wishes your way on your new beginning with a wonderful man. Very, very happy, very excited. On to my last letter. I received this today on through Twitter, and it was a private message. And this one blew me away. This totally blew me away. Hi, Jennifer. I'm not sure if you'll read this. And honestly, I don't look at Twitter very often, but I did happen to peek over there and found this. But I am 19 years old. And sometimes, a lot of times with age, they don't know much about HIV and how it's transmitted. So they just think virus, they think flu, they think super contagious, and they just don't get like how difficult it is to transmit it. So anyways, but I'm 19 years old and have had HIV anxiety for the past 2 months. It's the first thing I think about when I wake up, and it's the last thing I think about when I go to sleep. I spend all day rationalizing with myself. I've even had terrible insomnia and eating disorders. Wait till you see what her possible exposure may be. This is what is keeping her up day and night. I've been with my boyfriend for a year. He's healthy. He's only had one other female sexual partner. They've never had oral sex and always used a condom. I'm sorry. I mean, the condom part's fine, but come on, get in there. Do that oral sex. That's fine. I don't know. It's kind of sad to me. Like, that's like, no, I just feel bad for the people that don't feel like they can explore, or there's like so much shame that they can't do things that maybe they want to do, or the other person just, I don't know. Oh, sex is just so complicated. Anyways, however, I discovered that his father, this is where it gets cuckoo for me. However, I discovered that his father, so her boyfriend's father, raped a 20-year-old years ago, 20-year-old woman. And you know how I feel about female transmission anyways. It's barely existent. So anyways, I discovered that his father raped a 20-year-old woman. No, a woman, sorry. It says raped a woman 20 years ago. Oh, she said it right. I said it wrong. And is registered as a sex offender. And because of this, I am convinced his dad is unsafe and may have contracted HIV or other STDs and passed them to his wife, who gave birth to my 19-year-old boyfriend. I convinced myself that he could have possibly been born with HIV and never found out. Okay, that wouldn't have happened by the time you're 19. You would be pretty well aware of this diagnosis. So I made him get tested with me. We got tested at my old high school. We got tested for chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, and HIV. It all came out negative. Now I'm convinced that the results must have been wrong, and that the doctor who took our tests mixed them up with other blood samples. Why do people think that that happens? I used to work in a doctor's office. Everything is so meticulous when it comes to patients and numbers, and things getting mixed up is incredibly rare. It's not a common thing at all. Especially now, they have like, the last office I went to, they scanned everything. You know, everything was scanned. Like your name and everything was part of a scanning process. It's like, there was just no way to mix anything up. Big letters, please help. I mean, she's hysterical, basically. My friends think I'm crazy, and my boyfriend and I's relationship has suffered greatly due to my anxiety. Well, of course it has, because this is actually totally irrational, and it is crazy thinking. And so I wrote back to her and I said, you know, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but your friends have a point, and you know, this is totally irrational, and he doesn't have HIV, and you just maybe need to talk to somebody about it, because, you know, sometimes people just can't get it out of their mind. I'm not sure why. I never had that. I don't know why. I never, ever worried about having HIV, and here I got it, and, you know, actually, maybe that's a blessing that I never worried about it, because when I got it, it was a total shock, but it wasn't something I ever, I don't know, I just didn't think it would ever come into my world. So those letters are really just, I've got so many of them, I can't even tell you. They're pretty much never ending. I get them every day. If you're out there suffering from HIV, anxiety, you're not alone. But you really need to just feel, you've got to trust these tests and not put yourself through this craziness of just thinking that tests are getting mixed up, or coming up with scenarios that are so, like, they don't make any sense, honestly. And keeping yourself up at night and actually creating stress that's causing symptoms. So, like, you've got to think about all those things too. I don't know. It's like, you know, I guess there's anxiety for so many different things in life. So it's not like it's a shock or anything. And with the history of this virus, it makes sense that people would be so worried about it. But with the testing that's available, to me, that part of it just doesn't make sense. It's like stressing out that you have cancer all the time when they've never found it in you or something, or, you know, I don't know, something like that. So it's strange to me that people can't let it go when they get the negative results. And especially, like, most of these people that reach out to me were not high risk at all. There's nothing high risk about anything that they did. So there's low risk. I mean, there's always risk when you're having sex, but you know, there's incredibly low and there's high risk. So yeah, there's definitely all different levels of risk, but for the most part, these letters that I read are really always low risk, and it's surprising to me, the fear that they have, and I just don't know who's telling them, who's giving them information, and kind of like, I know at like these clinics, they pretty much can just only say, look, hey, you need to come back and test at 3 months, it's conclusive, but they probably don't ever tell them, you know, you were pretty much low risk always, and you know, you're probably going to be just fine. So yeah. All right. Well, I will have more of these for sure, because they are really never ending, and I'll bring them to you guys. I hope they're helpful for you, those of you out there who are suffering from this. And I don't do this in any way to mock any of you, because I truly understand that this is a real condition, the anxiety about it. But I guess I want you to see from my perspective, how shocking the anxiety is for something that's really it's just kind of uncalled for. So I'm hoping that if you see my reaction to it, it'll help you a little bit to know just how crazy it is from my side. And that, because I think I always tell people, you know, yes, test. But when I know like enough information like that, I said, it's going to come up negative again. But if you want to test, you could, just to like feel better about it. But I don't ever want them to think that I'm saying, yes, test again, because I have a little doubt in my mind, you know, and I'm really clear about that with them. It's like, I always say, like I said, it's going to be negative. I already know, because you've already been negative for 6 months or whatever. Like, it's not going to come up positive. So, yeah, I try to help all those people out there with that anxiety, and I hope these videos help. So anyways, I'm off to Canada, and I don't know what's today. Today's Thursday. I'm going Monday morning very early, and I will be getting married on Wednesday the 12th. Very excited. Very, very excited. And kind of just still can't believe it. I'm in a little bit of a love cloud right now. It's really, really, really an exciting time. So thank you all for supporting me and my channel. And yeah, I'll be back soon. When we're in Canada, we'll definitely do a live, and we'll see you guys from there. Okay. Bye for now. Bye, guys.